So what I'm going to show you now is from the Viking Age and right down to the year 200. And on my next video after this video, I will be talking about the Germanic tribes that migrated from Scandinavia to the rest of parts of Europe and fought the Roman Empire and settled in Poland. They settled in the UK, they settled in northern parts of Germany, they settled practically everywhere. They went to Russia, they went to Ukraine, they went all the way down to through the Eastern Europe, even way before the Viking period started. But I will get into that in other videos. You see this? This is a Viking grave. The heads would have been facing north, which is that way. I'll take you to some more Viking graves. Here you have another one. This would have been for the kind of, because it's the largest stone back then, this would have been for the, probably one of the leaders. And again you have Viking graves, preserved the best they can. Many people believe that all Vikings had their burial sites at sea, were on a ship and got burnt. Not all had runestones on either. They had just normal Batista stones that had no writing on. This one would maybe have had some writing on. This is very old. This is from roughly the year 750. So if there was any younger Futhark written on it, it has gone now. But the majority of the Viking graves, they didn't. And they certainly didn't burn all their people. Come. At sea. If they did that, they wouldn't have had no ships. The majority of Vikings were poor. This one, funny enough, is not a Viking grave. This is from the Bronze Age. But this one is. You can see the difference. This is a Viking grave. Again, with the head facing north. It would have been that way, so that would have been the headstone. But again, no Futhark written on it. Futhark runestones were the ones that were for the elite, the average Viking or Northman, if you like. Didn't have nothing written on them because they didn't have the money for it. You have another Viking here. This one was they dug up. This was one of 3 they dug up here. You have 10 Viking graves here. And in this one they found a shield and a sword, well, the remains of a shield and a sword. And he would have been a high prominent warrior just by the size of the stone. Again, nothing written on it. Not much was written on back then. And you have another one here. Oh, Rex is enjoying himself. This one, Another Viking stone. People ask me as well, do you believe in Norse mythology, Mez? I say no, of course I don't. I believe in what they find in digs and what the Runestones say. I don't believe in nothing else. All this rubbish about sea monsters and Odin hanging himself and making himself smart. None of this, I take that with a pinch of salt. Those Norse mythology books, if you ask me, it's just, yeah, let me give you an example. Snorri Sturluson on Iceland, when he was writing them in the 200-300 years after the Vikings ended, he probably was on magic mushrooms. I think 9 times out of 10 as well, when the Vikings went on their excursions, when they went on their travels to find new land and to find new stuff to buy and sell, they went on a trading mission, but they were probably met with hostility, so they fought their way, and some of them got killed. This is my belief. And some made it back and some didn't make it back. So the people of their clan or their tribe would have sent more ships over to find them and found out they were dead. And then the wars maybe started. Especially over in the UK and Normandy, most of these people that live in the UK back then, before the Viking era, way before the Viking era, many Jutes from Jutland and from Saxony and from Anglo, which is just on the north of Germany. The Jutes were Jutland, which is now Denmark. These were Germanic tribes in about the year 300 to 400. They sailed over to the United Kingdom and made settlements. Hence now there is called the Anglo-Saxon. These were people from Saxon armies or Saxon migrants that moved to the UK. And the same here. You had people from Scandinavia that moved to Bornholm in about the year 300 to 400, way before the Viking era. And then they settled here for a bit. And then they travelled further on down into Poland and fought the Roman armies in the late Roman times. But they went down there to find new ground. Because, like I said before, Scandinavia back then in the year 300-400 was was not very good for farming like it is today. It's lovely. I love doing videos now without having to do dog training videos, you know. I hate doing dog training videos. I love doing this, what I'm good at as well. Look at that, that's an old grave as well. It's amazing, this is on private property, so you have to have your dog on a leash. He has cattle here somewhere. He's a good friend of mine, he's my neighbour actually. I only live over there, just behind those trees. This is my playground. I know this place like the back of my hand. And so does Rex. We walk here most days. Come Rex, want, ik den vej.